Hello everyone. Today we are going to study about the second topic of the logic circuit, that is introduction to sequential circuits. Sequential circuits are digital logic circuits that work in accordance with the timing signal inputs. That means this circuit is operated totally depending on the input signal, nothing but the clock. According to this, it is a bistable device that it will going to set and reset. So that is of two stable content. Set is 1 and reset is 0. Examples for this bistable devices are latch and flip-flop. The definition of the flip-flop is a basic building block for registers, counters and other sequential control logic circuit. It will going to store a single bit. So group of these flip-flop will make a registers or a counters and other sequential logic control circuits. In the memory, it will going to retain some of the state, that is set or reset. So subsequent timing signal or subsequent trigger in the changes in the signal will going to change the storage of the memory. So this is the block diagram of sequential logic circuit. It contains data input, data output line, then compulsory it requires the clock pulse or any other event to be run the sequential logic circuit. So this is the combinational logic circuit and the memory. So whatever the pulse it will going to give you, according to that signal the storage will be changed. The sequential logic circuit can be classified into three major categories. The first one is synchronous, second one asynchronous, third one is pulse driven. The synchronous means it will going to drive that circuit through the clock. So according to this clock change or pulse change or trigger change, then it will going to change the state of the particular circuit. In the asynchronous, it will going to run through the event. That means it will going to take the external event to occur to change the state of the content, nothing but set to reset or reset to set. So next is the pulse driven. So this is a combination of synchronous and asynchronous sequential circuit. So this is about the three major categories of sequential logic circuit. So next is the difference between the combinational logic circuit and a sequential logic circuit. So as we already know, the combinational logic circuit, it consists of the two or more logic gates and with the logic gate levels. So totally output is depend on the input in the combinational logic circuit. When come to the sequential logic circuit, it does not depend on, that means it is not totally depend on the input. So it is mainly depend on the clock or any other event to be occur to change the state. So next is the output of the combinational logic circuit is entirely depending on the changing input to the circuit, already defined in the first one. So it totally depend on the input. So whatever the change in the input, it will going to change the output in the combinational logic circuit. When come to the sequential logic circuit, it will depend on the clock pulse or any other external content. So that will going to change, or it is the cause for output to change the state. So next, third one, if the input changes, the output will also change. Here the active clock pulse will going to change the output. So all the difference, all the three difference whatever I told, so those are so similar to the content, but it is differ in a single word, that's it. So next is the example of combinational logic circuit: half adder, full adder, encoder, decoder, multiplexer, demultiplexer, all we studied in the combinational circuit. For the sequential, it is flip-flop, counters, registers and etc. So these are the difference between combinational logic circuits and sequential logic circuit. So before going to this topic, so I want to tell you which are the subtopics of this chapter. Here we are going to study in the sequential logic circuit are flip-flop, RS flip-flop, clocked RS flip-flop, JK flip-flop, JK master-slave flip-flop, D flip-flop, and the applications of flip-flop. So these are the topics we are going to study in this video. The first one is flip-flops. Flip-flops for synchronous sequential logic circuit, also called as a bistable device. Already we studied this one in the introduction part. So it is a synchronous one. That means it requires the clock pulse to trigger. So again it is a bistable. That means it consists of set and reset. Then output can be changed in the synchronization with the clock pulse. Input as a trigger. Therefore, if flip-flop can be regarded as 1-bit storage device. So this is mainly the advantage of the flip-flop use, that is it will going to store a 1-bit storage. So it will going to store the 1 bit as a storage capacity. So that's why we are going to use this flip-flop in the registers, counters and etc. So when come to the clock, so what is the clock? So the clock is a pulse. So you can see here. So it is a pulse. It will go rising edge, come back to the falling edge, rising edge, falling edge, like this. So it will go rising, falling, right? So this is the clock. So clock is a control input signal C, which is represented as a square wave that switches alternatively from 0 to 1 and from 1 to 0 at fixed time interval. Nothing but when it is going for the rising edge, it is start from 0 to 1 and make a constant, then come back to the 0, nothing, 1 to 0. Again it will go for the negativity, that is -1, come back to 0, then it will again go 1, then come back 0 and go for the -1. So like this it will going to give the switches of the alternate from 0 to 1, 1 to 0. But see the interval, it is totally a constant one. That means after every second or after every minute, whatever it is going to fix it for the change, it will take that time to be alternate change of the 0 to 1 and 1 to 0. So this is about the clock. So next we will going to see what are the parameters of that clock. The clock cycle time or the clock period. So this is main important one here. So it refers to the time interval between two consecutive rising or falling edge. So you can see here, so two consecutive difference, that is 2 arrow mark down, right? So that is called the clock period. Or you can take this one, so that is rising edge. So two consecutive means the beside one, consecutive, the next one, what we call for this to next one, what is the difference of that interval time, that will called as a clock period. So next is the frequency, that is the formula. So this one, f is equal to 1 over t, nothing but the frequency is equal to 1 over divided by clock period. So this frequency is measured with a hertz or a clocks, then that is number of clocks per second. So that is the unit of the frequency. So next we are having types of the flip-flop: RS flip-flop, JK, master slave, D and T flip-flop. For your syllabus you are having these four. Last one is not there for your syllabus. So these are the types of the flip-flop. The next topic is RS flip-flop. So already we know the flip-flop will store the 1-bit storage. That is the basic block of the sequential logic circuit. The next is the concept of 1-bit storage nature of flip-flop can be better understood by the considering an SR flip-flop. Nothing but set or reset latch. A latch is similar to flip-flop but without clock signal input. that means it will not take the clock, nothing but it is a asynchronous one. So latch is same as flip-flop, it will not take the clock and it is a asynchronous flip-flop. Next, the latch is a type of bistable device. Again, it is a bistable one, that is it consists of set or reset. For this latch, make use of a sort of feedback arrangement to retain or store the previous state. Here the connectivity back to the opposite inputs. So let's see what is the RS flip-flop. So this is the RS flip-flop where it will going to use you the SR latch. So already told the SR latch consists of some feedback here to the input to the next gate. The first figure, this one, is the gated circuit diagram. That means it will going to use the gate, and this is the logic symbol. So before going to the gated circuit, let's see the logic symbol. The logic symbol consists of two inputs. So depending on the name, it is the SR, nothing but a set or reset, or it can take as an input one. So input AB or SR. So it will going to take the input SR as input, then the output is Q and Q bar, the complement of the output, nothing but Q and Q bar, the complemented output. So this is the logic symbol. So when come to the gate circuit, same again, S and R input, Q and Q bar is the output. We are going to use the NAND gate here. The whatever the output we are going to get, that is feedback as an input to the next gate in the same level. So this is the circuit of the SR latch using NAND gate. So how it is work? So when the input both are 0, the output is 1 1, nothing but it is an invalid one. So the state of the latch should be set or reset, right? So set means the particular latch will going to store the 1. Reset means it will going to store 0, right? This one. So depending on the combinations of two input, that is 4 combinations, 0 0 0 1 1 0 and 1 1. So we have to justify on which combination it will going to store 1 and which combination it will going to store 0. So if the both input is 0 0, it is an invalid state. Clear? Both the inputs are 0, it is an invalid state. Then if the S is 0 and R is 1, the latch will going to reset. Reset means it will going to store the 0 value, nothing but it will going to reset. That means it will going to clear the content of the latch. So next, when it is 1 0, the latch will going to set. That means it will going to store the value 1. Clear? If both the input SR is 1, then it is a no change condition. So it is no change, latch remains in its present state. Present state means if the latch is set, that is 1, then it will going to set as a 1. If it is in a state of reset, it will going to continue set on 0. Clear? There is no change. That is NC, no change. So it will going to retain whatever the previous state or the present state it is having. So that is, it will going to retain that state. So this is about the RS flip-flop. So next is the clocked RS flip-flop. At some point of time, it is necessary to operate and store information in a flip-flop for a specified period of time. So when already we studied in a RS flip-flop, that is without any clock, we are going to use SR latch. There is no time clock. So that will going to change the state according to the change of the input, right? So now we have to retain the flip-flop state for a few period. On that time we have to go for the synchronous one. That means we have to apply the clock pulse input to the flip-flop. that will going to change the state and it will going to retain the content as we need according to the time period. Therefore, one can convert the basic SR latch as asynchronous flip-flop into a clocked RS flip-flop by employing additional NAND gates and by giving a clock input to the flip-flop. So we are converting SR latch, that is a asynchronous flip-flop. By converting this SR to the RS flip-flop with the clocked one, we are going to use some additional NAND gates and we are going to apply the clock input to that flip-flop circuit. So these are the circuits we are going to use. Before going to the gated circuit diagram, so let's see the logic symbol. So this is the input S and R, output Q and Q bar. So this is the clock. So here we converted this SR latch to the clocked one, right? So clocked RS flip-flop. So we have to apply this clock. So this is about the logic symbol and we are going to use here the positive edge. You have to must concentrate on this, that is it is a positive edge. So see the clock pulse, it is in a rising edge. Rising edge is nothing but the positive edge trigger. So only the state will going to change when the clock is from 0 to 1, nothing but it is in a rising edge. So already defined what is the clock condition in the few minutes back, right? So this one is the condition of that. So that is the clock in a rising edge. So at the rising edge, then the particular this circuit will going to retain or it will going to change the content of the storage. Clear? So this is about the logic symbol. So next is the gated circuit diagram. So same S and R, we used NAND gate. Already told we are going to use the additional one. So see, G1 and G2 is a common NAND gate we are going to use in the SR latch. We have the additional one, that is G3 and G4. So output of the G3 given back to the input to the G4 and G4 output given or feedbacked it to the G3 input. Then the clock is given to the G1 and G2. Clear? So this is about the circuit. So see the circuit. We are having 2 inputs and 2 outputs, 4 NAND gates, last 2 feedback to the same 2, clock is feedback to the first level of the gates. So this is about the gated circuit diagram. So let's see the truth table. What will happen when the combination of input is going to apply? So this is the truth table. So again we are having 2 inputs. So 2 inputs, so 4 combinations. Depending on the combination, we are having the output. So let's start with the first one. If the particular 2 inputs are 0, then there is no change. There is no change means, so when the input both are 0, there is no change. No change means whatever the output is coming from Q and Q bar, it is same. Clear? So there is no change. Then the clock is not applied here when there is only rising edge, the content will be going to set or reset. So next see other 3, there is a rising edge. So depending on the rising edge, what is the input we have to check. So if SR is 0 and 1, it will going to reset. Reset means it will going to store 0. So output is 0 for Q and Q bar is 1 because it is a complement of Q, it is 1. So next is a combination is 1 0 rising edge. For this rising edge clock, it will going to set. So set nothing but it will going to store 1. The output is Q where Q bar is 0. Clear? The Q is 1. So opponent of that, nothing but a complement of that is 0. So next is the combination is 1 1 rising edge. So it is a invalid state or a forbidden state, what we call. So it will make some confusions on the content to be stored or not stored. So that is the invalid state. So this is about the clocked RS flip-flop. So next is the JK flip-flop. So JK flip-flop is an improvement over clocked RS flip-flop. Here the ambiguity of invalid state as it existed in the RS flip-flop is eliminated. So already we saw, so this is the invalid state. So this is eliminated in the JK flip-flop. The working of JK flip-flop is identical to that of the RS flip-flop in the set, reset and no change operations condition. But the JK flip-flop has no invalid state. That means it is totally similar to RS flip-flop, but there is no invalid state. So these are the figures we are having. So first see the logic diagram. So logic diagram, here we have to use a 2 input, that should be J and K. So these are the abbreviations or what we call the letters for the intruder of the JK flip-flop, that is J and K. The output is Q and Q bar. The clock is applied for this. So this is about the logic symbol. So next is we have to concentrate on the gated circuit. So in the gated circuit, J and K, Q and Q bar is the input and the output respectively, according to 2 inputs and according to 2 outputs. So next we have to use the gate 1, gate 2, gate 3, gate 4. So already in the RS we given the output of the R3 to G3 to R4 as a input and G4 output as a input to the G3, and clock is applied for G1 and G2, right? So one more additional here we have to concentrate other than RS flip-flop, that is the feedback of the output of R3 is given to G2, the output of G3 given back to input to the G2, same G4 output feedback to the G1 as a input. So this is the additional one compared to the RS flip-flop. Here we have to concentrate on 2 things. So that is we have to change SR by JK, and one more is this feedback. So that will make a changes in the 2 circuits. So this is about the gated circuit diagram. So next is the truth table. So already we told there is no invalid state. So first is the combination. Again you have to change here, that is truth table, that is S and R is replaced by JK. And other than this the combination is same, and apply the 4 clock triggered here. So next come to the truth table. So if both J and K is 0 0 with the rising edge of the clock, there is no change in the flip-flop. That means it is in a set state, there will be a set state. If it is in a reset stage, then it will be as it is, right? So there is no change. So when J and K is 0 and 1 respectively on a rising edge, it will going to reset. Reset means if the particular flip-flop is in a set state, then it will going to reset the content. So that is 0. So opponent is 1 because Q bar. Clear? So next is a 1 0 rising edge, it will going to set, that is 1. That is 1. The complement of it is 0. So next is the condition is 1 1. So for 1 1 rising edge, it will going to toggle. Toggle means what? If the present state of the flip-flop is 1, that is set, when we apply the input JK as 1 1, it will going to 0, nothing but reset. If the present state is 0, so I repeat, if the present state is 1, then according to the input and clock, the 1 is toggled to 0. Clear? If the present state is 0, it will going to toggle to 1. So toggle means nothing but it has to change with the values of 1 to 0 and 0 to 1. So this is about the JK flip-flop. So next is the JK master slave flip-flop. So this is almost similar to JK flip-flop. So this is the flip-flop is cascaded combination of two clocked JK flip-flop. So here we are going to use two clocked JK flip-flop with the feedback from the output of the second flip-flop to the input to the first flip-flop. Nothing but the second flip-flop is called as slave and the first flip-flop is called as master. So from the slave we are going to give the feedback to the master. Clear? So next, JK master slave flip-flop is used to overcome the racing problem in the high speed digital circuit. So here we are going to overcome this. So it is a racing content. So when a high clock pulse is applied to the master flip-flop, the master flip-flop is enabled and its operation follow the JK flip-flop truth table. But at the same time, the clock pulse is inverted. That means what? The master is enabled, then the slave is disabled. Clear? So that is vice versa. Depending on this, we are having to control the total master slave flip-flop. I repeat, when the condition is high, the master slave is enabled. The same time, the flip-flop of the slave is inactive stage. Clear? So this is the gated circuit diagram. Before this, let's see the logic diagram. So this is the logic diagram. So this one is the one JK flip-flop and one more JK flip-flop here. So first you have to write the JK flip-flop. So for master you have to put JK. For slave you have to put Q and Q bar as an input for the JK flip-flop. Then the clock is given to J. Inverted clock is given to slave JK flip-flop. After this, after all these things, you have to give feedback of Q of slave to the K and Q bar of the slave to the J of the master. Clear? So this is about the logic diagram. So let's see the gated circuit diagram. So this is the gated circuit diagram. So again the concept is same. Here you have to use the SR. Okay. Next, G1, G2, G3 and G4. These are the NAND gates. Next, input J and K, output Q and Q bar is given to this gates. Okay. Next, clock you have to give. So one clock is for both G1 and G2 and one more not clock is given to G3 and G4. Clear? Next one, the output of the Q back to G2, the output of Q bar back to G1. So like this you have to write the circuit, that is gated circuit diagram of the master slave JK flip-flop. So let's see what is the condition on truth table. So this is a truth table. So here the condition is same, all equal to, already I told this is totally equal to the JK flip-flop truth table. That is for 0 0 there is no change, for 0 1 it is reset, 1 0 set, 1 1 is toggle. It is totally same, but it will going to work on a condition of the master enabled and slave disabled. Like this it will going to work. So when a first condition is when a clock is in rising edge. So for this rising edge, the master is active. Okay, so master is in active state, but slave is in inactive state. Clear? Now M will going to act through this flip-flop. Next, before going to that, why slave is inactive means this rising edge clock is complemented here. That means it will go for the falling edge. For falling edge there is no truth table, right? So slave is inactive. Next, for second one, second condition is for rising edge, for falling edge the master is disabled because there is no truth table for the falling edge. But for the slave, this falling edge will convert it to rising edge because of there is a NOT gate, right? So see here we are having the NOT gate. So for rising edge it will going to convert as a falling edge. For falling edge it will going to convert as a rising edge. Now S is activated. Clear? So by this the truth table will going to work at individual content. So this is about the master and slave JK flip-flop. So next, the last type of the flip-flop is D flip-flop. So D flip-flop can be constructed by adding an inverter to an RS flip-flop. So same here, this is the RS flip-flop. For R we are using the nothing but an inverter here. So single input goes here, complemented of same input is goes to the next input. Again we are going to apply the clock. So this is the logic diagram of the D flip-flop. So this is the truth table. For input 1 with a rising edge it will going to set. For input 0 for rising edge it will going to reset. So this is the truth table of the D flip-flop. So by this I completed the flip-flop, RS flip-flop, clocker, JK master and D. At the last is the application of the flip-flop. The application of the flip-flop are parallel data storage. We can use it for parallel data storage. Then second application is frequency division multiplexing. So these are the application of the flip-flop, that is sequential logic circuit. So by this the topic concluded, the introduction to the sequential circuit in this video. The remaining two, that is shift registers and the counters, is continued in the next video. Thank you.